Hi, Scott from Digital Fish with content that catches. The plan was to hit the Hibiscus coast. My fishing companion today was Fleur Cushman, my little sister who was down from the UK. We had been fishing at Rangitoto Island and Fleur had hooked and played several bronze whalers. One of the scoundrels was responsible for stealing our burley pot. Stopping for a shallow water strayline session, we deployed our bait and burley in overcast conditions. It took a while for the scent to wash around the kelp and reef, but there was some snapper lurking and they started to find our pilchard baits drifting down the water column. Fleur scored first with a nice little eating snapper. We were scoring something every 5 to 10 minutes out the back of the boat using light line. The burley had a school of mau and mackerel hanging around, and these fish often attract bigger predators like KAHAWAI and kingfish, which eventually get hooked. I had something a bit more powerful smash my bait and start swimming around the boat. When a fish has 4 to 5 good runs and is still kicking hard, it's often more likely to be a small kingfish than a big snapper. Kingfish are hard fighting fish and always put a good bend in your rod. This one took a small mackerel bait. This one had unfortunately swallowed the hook down its throat, so I cut the line to give it its best chance of survival. Fishing was slow, so we took to the rocks for some land-based fishing on one of the nearby islands. We found a point sheltered from the southerly and set up camp for the next few hours as we started to hit the bottom of the tide. Here are some things that made the spot look alright for rock fishing. There was a safe landing spot, which is always number one when rock fishing. There was a gentle current sweeping from the side and washing past our rock, where we positioned our burley so it would flow into good structure and some weed beds, the sort of places snapper would be hiding. This would hopefully lure the fish into casting distance. It wasn't our first choice because it was a bit shallow. I prefer to fish over kelp as it holds more fish and you lose less gear, but there was fish here to be caught. Small snapper and reef fish started to hang around the burley bag and attack our baits. Longer rods are better in this kind of country as the snapper will fight hard to get back into the rock cracks and behind boulders and break your line. It's difficult to choose the right leader when fishing these places sometimes. 20-pound leader will generally be light enough to not spook the fish but can't take much abuse from sharp rocks and teeth. We don't use sinkers here as they snag quickly and floating baits look more natural. 30-pound leader is also pretty good. We were picking up some legal size snapper and the odd KAHAWAI. We could see all kinds of fish near the burley, grey and blue mau, piper and porori. Chocolate snakes are my favourite, although they always seem to taste a bit fishy to me. We were fishing with red plate pilchards and tuna belly strips, a specialty bait from Top Catch. Tuna belly strips make a really juicy, attractive strip bait because they have a lot of oil in the flesh. They can be cut into all different sizes of strip bait and last longer on the hook than softer baits like pilchards. Like kingfish, the flesh around the belly of a tuna has a high oil content and is prized by the Japanese for its rich flavour. Tuna strips can be threaded onto the hook like normal, but when the fish are fussy or shy, try and hook it sideways through the middle so there is less of the hook showing in the bait, but remember to have the point clear of the bait. Tuna belly strips are also highly visible in the water as well as smell great to the fish. We could usually get a few casts out of these baits and either hook up or try a few times before they became scraps or were stolen off the hook by smaller fish. As the water was shallow and the sun was quite bright, it was just legal or smaller size snapper that were showing up. I took a break to fly the drone. We shifted again for a last shot out of the boat on the way home, hoping the incoming tide would turn up some bigger fish. A bit of moving and working the burley bag to get the scent out proved successful, and we got into panny-sized snapper and put another 1 or 2 in the bag for a fish curry dinner. Fleur had a good bite and a series of hard runs. I hauled up the burley pot guessing it was another yellowtail kingfish. It was just a small fella and had to go back, but it was still lots of fun on light braid. How was our day? A feed of fish and lots of fun on a beautiful day. This is Scott from Digital Fish with content that catches.